Met for the first time, I acquainted you with the measures we had taken to screen passengers coming in at the international airports, thermal screening and other measures which we took. On 2nd April, when we met, we spoke about Lifeline Udan, and I want to share with you the figures on Lifeline Udan by any yardstick, no matter which way you look at it. These are very impressive figures. We brought in something like 1,500 plus tons of medical equipment and other medical supplies which were required to be imported from other countries, and Air India played a very important role, as did some of our other carriers, but the burden was essentially borne by Air India. Domestically, Lifeline Udan also produced and necessitated a total kilometrage coverage of 5,45,685 kilometers. 588 total flights were carried out. And the total cargo load carried domestically was 940.29 tons. And I stand corrected, the total medical cargo brought from outside was not 1,500 plus. Yes, it was 1,500 plus, but it is 1,928 tons. So if I have to round off, I should round off at 2,000, not at 1,500. Medical supplies which were sent by us to foreign countries in our neighborhood and other parts of the world was in excess of 30 tons. Now, as you will see, it's only a country which has its systems in place, which has clear, decisive political decision-making and direction, and where you were able to ensure that from PPE masks, from PPE kits, masks, ventilators, which were in very short supply or not possible, we not only transported them to all parts of the country, but if I may also add, we ramped up our own production. So today, since I'm talking about civil aviation, and I want to, for a moment, go away from my role as a member of the GOM on health and COVID, along with Secretary, but let me come to the civil aviation part. So I think there's 550,000 kilometers which were carried, and the result is there to see. I mean, in the beginning, there was some dislocation. Some people complained. Some people who did not need PPE kits also asked for them. But, very quickly the system fell in place. And today, I think we are not only in a position to say that we have consolidated our position as the pharmacy of the world. We were already suppliers of generics. But in terms of COVID-related medication and equipment, we are also now major suppliers to other countries in the world. On 5th May, when we met, I gave you the outlines of the Vande Bharat mission. And the starting point of the Vande Bharat mission was that the Minister for External Affairs was receiving requests, urgent pleas from many of our citizens stranded in different parts of the world, saying that they needed to be brought back, either because they had lost their jobs on account of the pandemic, or they needed to be deported, and as deportees. You see, on 23rd March, I should have said, but I know you are familiar with this, there was a complete lockdown, not only here, we stopped civil aviation, but so did most other countries. So if you were traveling and you were, let's say, on a holiday, or you had lost your job, you needed to come back. Again, and I think I've shared this with you earlier, but I have no hesitation in repeating myself. When I asked Jaishankar ji, how many people do you think will need to be covered in this mission, and I was only asking the question because on the civil aviation side, we have to make the arrangements, provide the platforms for this carriage. So he said, well, you know, the Navy will join in, maybe 1 or 2 surface platforms, but about 190,000 people. I must share with you something I've already told you. I had serious doubts about this 190,000 figure, because I knew this was the figure which was suggested, or rather which suggested itself, because those are the number of people who registered. Now, in March, April, no one had any idea as to how many people would like to avail of this facility. Anyway, when we started the operation, we were clear it would be much more than 190,000. And Secretary and my other senior colleagues here on the dais will bear with me. In our internal meetings, I said, prepare for many times that number. And you know, Vande Bharat, maybe Rajiv, CMD Air India, can tell you later, but when we started in the first week, we started on a modest scale. I think we brought back something like 14,000 people, 12,600 people. How much? 12,708 people, phase 1. From what, 64 countries? Or 64 countries. 64, memory is still okay. So, today, I want to fast forward. I will happily answer questions on Vande Bharat. Today, I can say with confidence, don't know what the last night's figures are. The number of people brought back is over 2 million. Brought back and taken out is over 2 million. So where 1.9 lakhs and where you are in excess of 20 lakhs. So that gives you, again, some idea about the scale on which the Vande Bharat has operated. I used to be asked questions, when are you starting international flights? When are you? I suspect at that stage we had not got our narrative properly across. These are international flights. These are flights between India and other countries which have entered into bilateral civil aviation arrangements with us, or which are called bubbles. And we have 16 of them in place already. But we have other arrangements with some countries which are not formally listed as bubbles, but where, because of their own domestic reasons, we are carrying out flights. And they may be formalized. So Vande Bharat is actually a bridging arrangement between a situation of complete lockdown and no activity and complete opening up of civil aviation. So again, I think full marks to the Prime Minister, under whose clear inspiration, with whose inspiration, clear direction, he said, look, an Indian citizen stranded abroad has a claim on us, and that it is our duty. We could have been inward looking and say, bhai, ho gaya lockdown, hum na. And Vande Bharat's flight started before domestic flights. I want to make this a point. So, I don't know what the number of Indians abroad is. I spent 40 years in the Foreign Service. I've heard figures like 25 million Indians outside. Not all of them are Indian passport holders. Some of them, but many of them are Indian origin and feel very strong ties to the country. But I can tell you, the Prime Minister's decision that Indians stranded abroad have a claim on us, or his decision that Indians who are here and need to go back to reclaim their jobs, we rose to that occasion. And I think we are now in phase 7. I don't know if 6 continues or 7. 6 continues, and Rajiv would be happy to answer specific questions on that.